This video will help you create the same glitch effect on your text. We create a new composition and call it glitch text. If you have different settings, I advise you to repeat my composition settings. Next, we create a text layer using the Type tool. Using the Align tab, we set our text in the center of the composition. We open the text layer and click on the Animate button and select the opacity effect. We have the Animator 1 function. We open Range Selector 1 in it and animate the start parameter. Note that your timeline should be on at the beginning. We set the first animation key to 0 seconds. Then go to 1 second and 20 frames and set the second key. Here we change the key value by 100% and set the opacity value to 0%. Next, open Graph Editor and adjust the animation speed. Then we open Advanced and switch to Enable in the Randomize Order item. Let's see what happened. You need to set the random seed value to 12. That's better. After all the settings, we close Animator 1, and at the moment we remove its visibility so as not to interfere with further work. Next, add a new animator to the position effect. The position parameter is set to 64 vertically. We open Range Selector 1 and set the start parameter to 31%. Then we open Advanced and switch to Enable in the Randomize Order item. Next, we set the value of random seed to 1. We set the timeline to 50 frames and set the first key of the start parameter. Then we switch to forward for 1 second and 50 frames and put the second animation key. We set the start parameter to 100%. Next, open the Graph Editor and adjust the animation speed. After setting the speed, close this item and add the animator with the position effect again. But now we set the position parameter to -56 vertically. Open Range Selector 1 again and set the start parameter to 31%. Then we open Advanced and switch to Enable in the Randomize Order item. Next, we leave the random seed value at 0. You need to set the timeline to 50 frames and put the first key of the start parameter. Then we move forward 1 second and 50 frames and put the second animation key, as we did last time. You need to set the start parameter to 100%. Then you need to open Graph Editor again and adjust the animation speed. Now we will add a new animator, but already on the scale effect. We set the scale parameter to 64. We open Range Selector 1 and set the start parameter to 38%. Now you need to open Advanced and switch to Enable in the Randomize Order item. Next, we set the random seed value to 12. We set the timeline to 50 frames and set the first key to the start parameter. Then we move forward 1 second and 50 frames and put the second animation key. We set the start parameter to 100%. Next, open the Graph Editor and adjust the animation speed. It remains for us to add the last animator to the tracking effect. Here we set the tracking amount parameter to 114. Next, open Range Selector 1 and leave the start parameter at 0. Open Advanced and switch to Enable in the Randomize Order item, but do not change random seed. We set the timeline to 50 frames and set the first key of the start parameter. Then, as last time, we go 1 second and 50 frames ahead and put the second animation key. We set the start parameter to 100%. Then open Graph Editor and adjust the animation speed. This is the effect that should result in. Now it is already possible to enable the visibility of the Animator 1 parameter for further work. Now we need to add the Wave Warp effect to our text layer. You need to make the following changes to the effect. Select the wave type parameter noise. The wave height parameter is 35. The wave width parameter is 56. The direction parameter is 180 degrees. The wave speed parameter is 0.1. Next, we animate the wave height parameter as follows. We set the timeline to the beginning of 0. We put the first animation key and leave this key without changing the parameter. Next, go 20 frames ahead and put the second key and change the parameter value to 86. We put another key after 20 frames and change the parameter value to 0. We also move the timeline forward by 20 frames and set the animation key and leave it unchanged at 0. The fifth animation key is also set after 20 frames and change its value to 87. We move the last key forward 20 frames again and put the last key and change the parameter value to 0. This is the text that should be obtained after the work done. In order to add colorfulness, we need to select a text layer and right-click and select Pre-Compose. Rename it to Glitch Effects and click OK. The resulting composition is duplicated 3 times. We will move the first layer by 10 frames. The second layer is for 5 frames, and we will leave the third one unchanged. You need to find the fill effect in the Effects and Presets window. We drag it to the second layer and leave it unchanged. You can change it to your liking. We also drag on the third layer and change the color to any, but I'll choose pinkish purple. Here is such a simple but interesting glitch effect we got. Thanks for watching.